today what we're going to do is take this nucleus hive, Neckinger Hive, and take its 5 frames of bees and put it into a larger hive because they're getting pretty full here, and it's time to transfer them to a larger space where they can breed more successfully. So I'm smoking the bees quite heavily right now because I want them to take on board as much honey as they can from their existing hive, because I want to encourage them to build wax in a new hive. So let's take the top off. It's been a long winter, so these are fairly tough to get open. First thing I'm going to do is fairly blustery here, so I want to keep this operation to a minimum time, is to move the hive off to the front so that we can then put on the floor the new hive entirely. So here's the new hive's floor. I'll put it on here where the old hive used to be so that bees know where to go back to the hive. We've got a hive body which I've cleaned up from last year's hive, and so we'll put this on so that we can put the frames in sideways, back to front, so that's called in beekeeping terms the cold way. So as I say, I'm going to be fairly brief about this because I don't like the wind being up so much, and nor do the bees. So let's just get these frames transported from one small hive where they've spent the winter into their summer quarters. So here we go, yep, they're up and about, that's for sure. In they go. Phase 1. I'd expect to see some activity from the queen somewhere. If I got to see brood here, we might be fortunate enough to see her, but I'm not going to hang around if she's not where I expect her to be on the frames. So let's just pop these into the hive before any further excitement happens. Also, the reason for the frame change here is that some of these frames are quite old and we need to get some new wax here which the bees will build. Ah yeah, here's the queen. It's making her way across the middle of the frame there. If I put that close enough to see, that should be fun for us all to observe. And without hanging around, let's put her into the middle of the new hive. To move these frames up a little bit, my intention is to insert some new frames of foundation wax, which will give the bees a chance to build that new comb. So again, here we've got good brood patterns. Queen's been active both sides of the frame, and I'm going to just put that in next to where we know she is. I'm also just going to put in a small sign that she's there, a little drawing pin into the frame so that I know that when I last saw her she was on this frame. And then the final frame comes out. Yeah, good healthy bees, calm and getting ready to enjoy the summer. I'll take the bees who are still in the old box, give them a good shake into here so that they can all find their new home and get orientated. Pop these in from the roof. Just to insert these 2 new frames of foundation, which is wax pressed in a sheet, which the bees will work on to make the new comb with. And these are numbered 15, which tells me that they're this year's comb. When I look at them in a few months' time, they'll be a little bit more ragged, but I'll want to know that they're not too old, because old frames can carry disease. So now that we've got this far, I'm going to pop on the roof, which for my summer roofs I use the perspex roof so I can see what's going on from time to time. It's just handy. In the winter I don't use perspex roofs because I get condensation. So that's the hive closed up. I am going to add some feed to this hive because I want them to draw this wax foundation quickly. I want them to be active and productive. So to do a head start for that, I'm giving them some sugar syrup in here. And I'm going to add just a little space around there by a beak that allows me to put the roof on top successfully, so that seals up the hive. Now, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add something here which wasn't half of mine to do, but it's easy to just shift over here, is add this dummy board, which means that the bees can safely keep this part of the hive warm without worrying about the rest of it. And at this stage of their development, they don't want to be heating up the whole hive. Just heating up a little bit of it is just fine, and that'll get them all the work they need to do on the wax. So here we go. On goes the top. A little bit of adjustment to the strap that has to be a bit bigger because the hive is now a larger hive than the one we had previously, certainly wider, and all of them on 14 by 12 brood frames. Right, job done. Thank you very much, Bermondsey Bees. Look forward to seeing you when you've done a little bit of hard work on those frames and drawn some wax.